Hello, kids. Today we are going to train our grammar and speaking skills. Look at the picture of our additional lesson 24. Who can you see in the picture? Yes, you can see a man, and he must be an ancient warrior. Why? What is he holding in his hands? What is he wearing? He's wearing a feather hat. Feather. He's wearing a feather hat. It looks like a bird head. And in his hands, he's holding a shield with a bird on it. And he's holding a bat. Maybe he's not a warrior. Maybe he is a performer of an ancient dance or a folk song. We don't know. Okay, and today we are going to talk about ancient civilizations. We're going to talk about history. And Michael Crichton was an American author of science fiction stories and a famous film director. He told someday, if you don't know history, then you don't know anything. Do you agree with this saying? I do agree with the saying. We need to know our history and the history of different people in the world. So let's get started. What are our main tasks and goals of the lesson? As our tasks, we're going to train our listening skills and filling in verbs in the sentences. We're going to review the past simple because we are talking about past civilizations. We are also going to train our asking and answering question skills on the text given. And our main goal is speaking. Of course, we're going to tell about the Indus Valley people. We haven't studied them yet, but today we're going to get some ideas about these ancient people. Let's get started. Our first task is to find out where can you find these places. So these are the remains of different ancient towns or cities. What country are they in? How do you think? What can you see here? These are the basements of houses made of stone bricks. Looks like very strong and thick. Look, they're thick. What is it? Looks like a temple, isn't it? Yes, but it hasn't got a roof. Is it strong? Yes, quite. It is strong and very high. What are these? These are some statues or decorations in a house. We can see an elephant, yes, and some people around. What country is it connected to? Good. Let's see the answers. Were you right? So these are the basements of Inca civilizations, and they built thick walls of their houses in Machu Picchu, for example. They were earthquake proof. And these are remains of a great Greek temple, the Acropolis. And this is a statue from India, because elephants are very popular in India. So we are going to talk about these ancient civilizations in Peru, Greece, and India. They are all situated in different parts of the world. Where is Peru situated? It is situated in South America. Where is Greece situated? It is in the south of Europe. Where is India? It is in the southeast of Asia. So the parts of the world are really different. Let's see, how did people live in these different parts of the world? First, we're going to listen about the Inca civilizations, and I think you know a lot about them. Look, here are the statements, and your task will be to find the best suitable answer, the first or the second, and circle it in your worksheets. But first, we are going to read our vocabulary. Please take your worksheets and read your vocabulary with me. Tunic, tunic. It's a kind of a piece of clothes usually for men. Fig, fig, figs. So these are fruit, very sweet and tasty. Wheat, wheat. This is a kind of crop which is used to bake bread. Seafood, seafood. Married, married. Chariot, chariot. Fist, fist. Now please read the sentences about the Inca civilization and try to understand them. Now we are going to listen and circle the best suitable answer. While you hear the Incas spelled bridges, for example, you circle build, like in the example. Let's get started.
Track 41, page 52, activity 2. Read and listen.
The Incas lived in Peru around 600 years ago. They built cities, bridges, and roads. Their houses had one room, They didn't have furniture. Men wore tunics and women wore long dresses. They made their clothes from wool or cotton. They didn't speak Spanish. They spoke Quechua, but they didn't write this language. They grew potatoes, peppers, and tomatoes. They caught fish and ate them, but they didn't eat much meat.
Okay, I think the task wasn't very difficult, and you easily found the best suitable answer. If don't, please listen to this again. And we are going to check our answers. Look, were you right? So the Incas didn't have any furniture. Men wore tunics, while women didn't wear tunics. What did they wear? Yes, they did. They wore long dresses. They spoke Spanish. Oh no, they didn't speak Spanish. They didn't speak Spanish. They spoke Quechua, but they didn't write it. They grew different kind of vegetables. What kind of vegetables did they grow? Yes, they did. They grew potatoes, peppers, and tomatoes. What about other food they ate? They ate fish. They caught fish. Did they eat much meat? No, they didn't. So I think you could answer these questions easily. Let's continue our work. Now we are going to talk about the ancient Greece. Look at the picture. Who can you see there? What is it? It must be a marketplace. We can see different stalls and people selling and buying things. And who are they? I think they are boys. Yes, they are. Where are they going? How do you think? They are going to school. Yes. Okay. They are holding some kind of books in their hands. Good. Let's read and fill in the necessary form of the past in the sentences. Look at the verb and put it into the past simple. For example, build, built. And read the story. Fill in your worksheets. If you are ready, we are going to check our answers. If not, please stop the video and finish your exercise first. and we are going to check our answers. So while we talk about the past, we use the past tense of the verbs. These are the verbs that are called irregular, and they have special forms in the past. Let's see, read with me. The ancient Greeks lived around 2,500 years ago. They built houses, palaces, and temples. Their houses had 2 or 3 rooms. The men wore short tunics and women wore long dresses. They grew olives, grapes, figs, and wheat. They made bread from wheat. They ate fish and seafood. They spoke ancient Greek, and they wrote it too. Boys went to school, but girls didn't. What didn't you know about ancient Greek? The ancient Greeks? Okay, I think you answered your questions. Let's go on. What was ancient Greece popular with? Of course, with the Olympic Games. And the Olympic Games started in ancient Greece. Let's do another exercise. You have got verbs here, and your task is to put these verbs into the sentences in their past forms. Read the story about the Olympic Games and fill in the gaps. If you're not ready yet, please stop the video and finish your exercise. And now we are going to check our answers. Let's see your answers. Were you correct? Here in this text, we have negative sentences and positive sentences too. Let's read the story. The Olympic Games began in ancient Greece. Men, boys, and girls from all over Greece went to the games, but married women didn't go. About 50,000 people sat in the stadium to watch the events. The athletes did different sports like running, horse racing, chariot racing, and boxing. They didn't do swimming or gymnastics at that time. But now swimming and gymnastics are really popular in the Olympic Games. At night, most people slept in tents or in the open air. Important visitors and athletes had hotel rooms. At the end of the games, there was a big feast. They ate roasted meat and watched acrobats. What didn't you know about ancient Olympic Games? I think it was interesting to know, isn't it? Yes, amazing. And this is the end of our lesson. Let's see what you are going to do as your home tasks. Ask 10 questions about ancient Greece using the texts about the ancient Greek Olympic Games and how the Greek people live. Answer them orally. Record your questions and answers and send to me. Don't forget that we use did with regular and irregular verbs in the past. But if you use was, were, and could in your questions, you don't use did. If you put a question to the subject, who played or who took part in, so you don't use did. You put the verb into the past simple. Then you have got an exercise about the Indus Valley people. You haven't read anything about them. And this information is completely new. But to help you, you have got the prompts in your exercise 3. Use the prompts and make sentences in the past simple. Tell and record your story about the Indus Valley people and send to me. So you send 2 recordings, questions about ancient Greece and answers, and the story about the Indus Valley people. I think you liked our lesson and you knew a lot of new information about the history. Thank you for listening. I'm waiting for your answers. Goodbye.